Rock me, mama.
Hello.
I'm Macy.
And I'm Amy. And this is Rock Me Mama. What's up, guys? How you doing? What are we talking about?
We're talking about imposter syndrome and like feelings of is inferiority a word?
Yes.
Right? Why does that sound so?
I don't know. It's a word.
You know what I mean?
Inferiority, yeah. It's definitely
inferiority.
a word.
I feel smart as fuck when I say it.
Yeah.
But then I second guess that it's a
No, it's a
right
word.
So then I don't feel smart.
You are smart.
Thank you. I really struggle with, shall we call it Momposter Syndrome? I don't know. Like, I was actually looking up what the definition of imposter syndrome is, just to like make sure that's actually what I mean. And it is. Imposter syndrome, listener, friends, Rudy, is the condition of feeling anxious and not experiencing success internally, despite being high performing in external objective ways.
Sorry.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
This condition often results in people feeling like a fraud or a phony and doubting their abilities. That's me.
But that's women. Women have imposter syndrome.
And
women are,
like
it's a very big women thing.
But it's weird to feel that way about motherhood, because it's like I know I'm not a phony with as a mom, because like I grew them and I birthed them. I don't know what other proof I need.
Like, but you feel like, am I not doing this right?
The like last part of this, and like who knows what this definition is from. This isn't like Webster dictionary, but feeling like a phony and doubting their abilities. That's the like doubting my abilities is the one that just like slaps me in the face all the time.
Yeah, of
just feeling it's the constant like, how are these other moms doing this? Or like, why is this so much harder for me?
Well, but I read this quote once, and it's the greatest thing ever. And it was, imposters don't feel imposter syndrome. And it struck me, and it's because that's the truth. People that are actual imposters, they don't feel phony. They believe everything they're doing.
Okay.
You're not an imposter because you're worried about doing it the right way. Okay. Like, you know, if every mom is worried, am I doing a good job? Am I being the best I can be? Am I going to be a good mother? If you're pregnant and you haven't had one yet, how am I going to be? Am I going to fuck this kid up? Blah, blah, blah. The fact that you're worrying means that you are.
I know. And I do remember early on in motherhood, I don't even know if I was talking to somebody or if it was a follower or whatever, but saying something about like being worried that I'm not doing a good enough job. And somebody said in a very like eloquent way, you know, if you're worried about doing a good job, then you're a good mom. Like, because if you're a shit mom, you're not worrying about.
Because narcissists don't worry about anything.
Yeah.
And like imposters are narcissists.
Yeah.
And it's a kind of sociopathic behavior to pretend to be something you're not.
Yeah.
You know, but women constantly, I mean, as moms and just as women, I mean, every time I get hired for a gig, I think to myself, they chose me. What?
Yeah.
They chose me?
Yeah.
Like, do they know that I'm not qualified? And then I'm like, wait, I'm overqualified.
Right.
And like, I think that's something that women do all the time. And motherhood's no different.
I know, but I think it feels weird in motherhood though. Like I just said, because I'm like,
because you
like I grew that, like because I do it a lot in business as well, or like in training. I did it a whole lot when I was still teaching in person, and like I know I'm a great trainer.
Yeah,
I know I have a great business, but like
self-doubt though is what like propels you to be better all the time.
Oh, for sure,
you know.
But feeling that as a mom is just weird, and I feel it kind of a lot of just feeling like, again, like, why is this so hard for me? I look at other moms who have 3 kids, 4 kids.
But are you looking at them on the side of the street, or are you looking at them on Instagram?
Yeah, I know.
Because that is a totally different fucking thing.
I know.
When I see a mom in real life, she is almost always having a nervous breakdown.
Yeah.
Or she's having one of those rare, beautiful moments where the kids are actually behaving.
Right.
When I see moms on Instagram, unless they're going overboard to show you how crazy and shitty it is, you know, it's moms are they're showing their highlight reel.
Yeah.
Of course everybody looks like, you know, that girl, who were we looking at the other day? And she had like 9 kids and then did a runway show.
Oh,
what the fuck was that?
Farm.
I don't
can't
know.
remember.
But
I
she
can't
like
remember.
looked perfect.
Old McDonald?
And she,
Yes, Old McDonald.
she looked gorgeous and perfect. And she had just had her like 10th fucking kid naturally in a farm. And like, you know, that's great and good, but that's not normal.
Yeah.
And also, we also have to factor in rich people have help.
Yeah.
So when you're rich and you're on Instagram and you're posting all of the million things you do in a day looking fucking beautiful and perfect, and your 9 fucking kids, they all have great outfits on and they sit at the table and eat, that's not real because you have so much fucking help.
Yeah, I know.
And like normal people don't have help. Normal people are doing it themselves and it's not easy. It's hard.
But that's just like it's
can't
so,
compare yourself to
I
that.
have 2 kids. I'm like, how?
You feel like you
2
should
kids
be,
is a lot of fucking kids.
Yeah, I think that you feel like you should be like more assured of yourself. At least.
Yeah.
Like just like a little bit. And then you're just like, well, I don't even feel assured of me or like feel good about this situation.
Yeah.
So like my kids can't be happy. And if my kids aren't happy, well, am I really even doing a good job?
It's a spiral thought. And I'm like, do other people think I'm failing as a mom? There are some days where I feel like the day is over and I'm like, Chase, I really hope you think I'm doing a good job. And he's like, babe, you're an incredible, and like always like sings my praises, but like literally like, and that's not me like fishing for a compliment or like really trying to make myself feel better. I genuinely like, there are some days like today or the other day, for example, when it was so hard with me like having single parented for so long, like single parent sounds dramatic. No, I don't want any single moms to take offense to that. Chase was not helping me.
She doesn't think she's a single mom. Everyone calm down.
Yeah, I should rephrase that. Because that's a whole other bowing down to y'all. But anyways, I did a lot of parenting on my own, and those are typically the days where like my fuse is very short, and I probably don't end the day as I would like to with my children. And those are always the days that I'm like, God, like I really didn't do a good job. And you know, I replay and I replay and I replay, and I'm always like, Chase, like I really like, I hope you don't like judge how I'm parent. Like I literally say these things and think these things, and he's like, "What are you talking about?" Yeah, but that's like a real thing, and it's but
you're
so shitty.
You're just a really critical.
No, I know I am
person of yourself.
I'm horrible about it. I went to when was this? 2 mornings ago. I took both of the boys to a coffee shop by myself, which like, wow, I know that doesn't sound that crazy, but like
it's a lot.
It's a lot. And it's a whole lot if you know how Wyatt is. Wyatt is not content. He's very busy. He isn't I'm going to sit him in the car seat and drink a latte for 30 minutes type of kid. I'm like usually lucky to get 3 minutes. Yeah. And so it was really ambitious of me. But I literally, going into it, I was like, I'm going to prove to myself that I can do this. Like, I wanted the morning with the boys. Yeah. So it wasn't like, let's do this for me. But I literally, like, going into it, I was like, I need to, like, know that I can do this, that I can not only, and it was breakfast. We did the whole 9. Like, it wasn't like I'm going to get a coffee to go and, like, be ready to go if shit hits the fan. I ordered Eli breakfast. Yeah. I got breakfast. I got a latte, not in a to-go mug. Like, I got the real thing.
Oh, you committed to it.
Like, I was like, we're going to be here. And y'all, it was one of, like you said, it was one of those beautiful moments. Neither boy cried the whole time. Wyatt sat in the high chair the whole time.
Yeah. What if
what's happening?
Some random mom had just walked in and she had seen that and she'd be like,
I know.
Why can't that be me? And you're like, it's not me either. It just happened to
and
be
I would have
today.
loved for a mom to be like, you're killing it. And me be like, I'm not though. Like, this is rare.
Yeah.
Like,
but like that, so why wouldn't that be the case for you on the other side of it?
I know.
Yeah.
But it was nice to like, I left that and I was like, I did that. And like the boys did it too. Like they did it, but like I really like I did that and it was such a good
you don't
morning.
have to give them credit.
Yeah.
I know I did.
It was you.
Yeah, you did it.
But I was really proud of myself.
Yeah, of course.
It's hard.
It's hard. I have a hard time doing things with one.
Yeah.
Like cuz she has a tantrum like you know. But then there's plenty of times that I take her somewhere and she's really great.
Right.
And she like goes and talks to everybody and she's super
and you're like
cute and social.
beaming proud
and everyone's like, you have the best kid. And I'm like, I know. But inside I'm like, well.
Yeah.
But, you know, you just have those moments. But a lot of things kids make things hard.
I know.
It's very beautiful and it's very rewarding, but it's very hard.
Yeah. Oh my God,
like,
it's so hard.
You know, it's just every day is hard. Every day is a different struggle, whether it's because they get a new sickness or because they hurt themselves or because they're just like fucking in a bad mood for no reason.
Yes.
She wakes up sometimes
In the
and I'm
worst
like,
mood.
what fucking chapped your ass?
Yeah.
What about that 3-hour nap really fucking chapped you?
Yeah.
Because you hate everything.
Yeah.
And I'm offering
The
you like
naps
a
do that
chicken
a lot.
nugget.
Right.
Like, and I'm offering you your favorite movie with like a nugget and I'm going to make you a fucking milkshake.
Sorry, your life is horrible.
I'm so sorry. What else can I do, King Joffrey? You know, like literally, it's awful.
Yeah.
And I think to myself, have I raised this fucking brat?
Yes.
And is this my fault that my kid is this fucking bratty?
Yeah.
But
I
then-
texted our group.
then a
was that
couple-
last week that I was
yeah.
like, I need to know
And we
that
were all like,
y'all's
yes.
kids are doing this too,
Yeah.
because Chase and I literally that morning were like, we've done it. We have raised a brat.
Oh, Nick,
We're
I
all
say it
like,
all the
oh,
time.
no.
We're like, this is us.
And then of course, like all four of y'all were like, yeah, no, here's my story. And I was like,
the
I literally
age.
was crying. I was like, thank y'all so much.
No, it's their age. It's a really 2.5 to 3.5 is like really fucked up.
Oh my God.
Like they're really like they're just out to fucking kill us.
They really are. Y'all, today? Okay. Side note, sorry. This is a story that I have to share. Like, I will sing his praises when it comes to potty training or like
Yeah.
maybe mine. I don't know. We really laid down
You
the law.
guys
I
nailed
like
it.
did it. The kid was potty trained in 3 days. Like,
Yeah,
truly,
we're like
he really
literally
was.
not there at all.
Like,
We're nowhere
doesn't have
near.
accidents at school. Hasn't
crazy.
had an like he.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if we just waited until like the absolute last minute. So he was so ready that like that's all it took, which is probably what it was. We did it like 3 days before he turned 3. But all I
We're
to
gonna
say,
do that with her then because she ain't ready right now.
then yeah, I really think that's what I
Yeah,
mean. Like we were
she's just
very very strict about it and literally like threw out all the diapers and went straight to underwear. But like he was absolutely ready, so I think that was probably why.
Yeah.
But anyway, so he like doesn't have accidents, helps himself to the toilet, pee, poop, all of it. Like has for weeks now. I looked over at him today and he's in the splits. He doesn't have pants on. Both boys were just like pantsless all day. He's in the splits because there was a towel on the ground from we were painting. And so I like threw the towel over our
Was
landing.
Farrah doing her splits today? She loves her splits.
Oh yeah, she was. So he's laying like literally like I don't want to put a hole in the couch with my heels, but he's going like this on the ground in the splits. And I'm like, what is he doing? And then I think I see like a dark spot on his underwear. And I was like, Eli Griggs, are you peeing on the floor? And he goes, there's a hole. And I don't know if he like saw the hole
And thought
'cause
I should pee.
the
through
like
this.
briefs are like, you know, they like sag a little bit. So like, I guess they're like, he could see skin or feel it maybe. I
Yeah.
don't know. And he just did the splits and was pissing on, I feel like I have to use this in this context. It's pissing, not peeing.
Pissing.
Yeah.
Pissing on my floor.
Yeah.
He is fully potty trained and has been for like
It was a
2
choice.
months.
Yeah, he was like, this
And I looked
feels
at him
right.
because you know you're like not supposed to shame them when they like have an accident.
Yeah.
This wasn't an accident.
No, this was on purpose.
He literally was like, I'm gonna pee on the floor.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it in front of both my parents, and I'm gonna pee on the floor. And I'm gonna continue doing so while my mother watches me,
Yeah.
telling me to stop doing so.
That I think is the epitome of this age.
But I
is
looked at
that
him and I
story.
go, "What are you
Like, why?
doing?"
Yeah.
And he goes, "There's a hole."
Yeah.
It's just things like that
Yeah.
you're like,
Yeah.
this was a choice.
You want to do this.
This was a choice.
Yeah. And you see that it makes me upset and it doesn't stop you at all.
Also, just, what?
Yeah.
Anyways, I don't know what we're talking about. That just
It's
happened
just a
today, though,
wild
so-
ride.
It really is.
Every day it's a wild ride.
One more potty training story and then I'm done though. Whenever they taught them this at school, I think, to bend over after they poop.
Oh, yeah, you
so
guys-
that you can wipe.
You guys are talking
So like literally instead of like them sitting on the toilet and you like reaching back, they bend over. And the first time I knew that was because E pooped and he goes, bend over like at school. And I was like, that could be
You're like, what the
that's
fuck?
yeah, but
Yeah.
so he bends over and I was like, this is great. This is a lot easier, right? So that's like our routine. And so he pooped. This has happened over 5 times now. If he leans over and his little toilet is by his head, he literally will go in his leaned over position. Hello, poop. Nice to meet you. Every time. Nice to meet you.
That's good.
I know, it's so good.
That's
Anyways,
really
enough
good.
about my child and his bowel movements.
Well,
and
she won't. I know we've kind of talked about this on the stories, but she will pee on the potty all day.
yeah.
She's happy to do it. she will not poop.
Yeah.
And when I bring it up or put her on the potty, she cries like like I'm traumatizing her. So because I don't want to put her in therapy over poop. Because you also can, especially girls, fuck them up about,
Yeah.
I mean, I never
Bodily
acknowledged
functions?
that I pooped until
You still don't.
I still don't. I mean, I'll tell Nick. I'll be like, I have to go to the bathroom, but I don't like talk about poop or farts or anything.
I have to go to the ladies' room.
I'll be like, my stomach hurts. I have to go to the bathroom, but I won't like say, oh, I gotta take a shit. Like,
well, I don't say that.
I don't say that
I gotta
either,
poop.
yeah, I won't do any of that. But also, like, I just in my life always like held my poop and didn't want to poop in public places and stuff like that because I just was ashamed of it. And I think most women are. So I don't want her to give herself issues.
Yeah.
Because some kids get like legit pooping issues and it affects their health. So I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do to tackle this. Like last time she bared down and pooped, remember I caught it with my bare hand.
Oh, I remember.
And that was my reflex, was to catch her turd.
Yeah. I mean, that's
so
my
I don't want to do that again.
My sister, who has the niece that you met, Greta,
so cute.
She's potty trained, but like they think she'll just go in and like sit on the toilet and like she flushes so fast that they're like, we think she's pooping, but they're like phantom poops because
because she's like
she
wants
just
to flush it
so
before
fast.
it.
But
She
while
may
they
be
were
farting.
here, what?
She may be farting.
Maybe. But while they were here for my grandfather's funeral, we witnessed a lot of the like screaming because her butt hurt because she needed to poop or like, and then sitting on the toilet for a very long time crying.
Yeah. I have another friend whose kid is having pooping problems, and my nephew had pooping problems, and it's serious.
hard to
I've
figure
heard
that
most
out.
kids do. I'm like
it's
counting my
serious.
blessings
Yeah,
with
it's hard
E.
to
I don't know
figure it
why
out.
it happens so
I
easily.
don't know. Maybe it's a girl thing, but
I don't know, but
know.
she really doesn't want to. We haven't, however, tried the just pantsless for 3 days.
Yeah.
Like we didn't ever do that.
Yeah.
So we have to, when we do get serious, I think we have to just be strict and stay home for 3 days and like do no pants.
That's what we did.
Because Maddie was telling me that like the no pants is a huge difference from undies or clothes or whatever, like because there's nothing to catch it at all.
Yeah.
So maybe that's it, but we haven't tried just no pants at all for the whole day. Right now, though, she is not potty trained.
It's okay.
Not even a little bit.
Listen, homegirl took her pants off and her pull-ups off.
She's happy to be
with me.
naked.
Yeah. Well, she was on the potty. She like needed to go.
She loves to pee.
She didn't go, but she did all steps to get there.
Yeah, she loves to sit on the potty.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, she's like she gets that part for sure.
Yeah. You saw her cute little pillow vagina.
Yeah, it's so pillowy. It's so cute.
Her little pillow.
It's so cute.
Love it so much.
I know.
Little baby, little vaginas. I know that sounds so creepy. It's what a weird conversation, but like little girl vaginas are so cute.
So puffy.
Little pillows. They're just like little puffy little. Anyway. What did I want to bring up? Oh, as a mom of one, I have read that someone else asked this question. And I feel this too. When everybody has 2 kids or 3 kids or whatever, and you have one, whether that's by choice or because you just can't have another one. I do feel like there is a little bit of a feeling of inadequacy and also a feeling of like you can't complain about it being hard because everybody's like, you don't even have 2 kids.
Yeah.
And like, I feel that in the group a little bit just because everybody's overwhelmed with 2 kids. And I feel like if I say anything, and I know you guys aren't doing this to me, but I feel like if I say anything, then you guys are like, you have 1 fucking kid.
Yeah.
And I feel like my brother who has 1 kid feels this, and my other friends that have 1 kid. And it's almost like when you have 1 kid, you're like a parent, but you're not in the parents club of multiples.
This is like so aligned with imposter syndrome, I feel like.
But that's how it feels. It feels like you can't really complain to someone that's struggling with 2 kids or 3 kids. And I do have friends that every time I say anything, they're like, oh, try having 2 kids or try having 3 kids.
Okay,
and I'm like,
that's unnecessary.
well,
though.
it's
not a competition.
Yeah. Like that's unnecessary.
But I do feel like there's this like, you don't understand vibe. And like that kind of sucks because being a mom is really hard.
Right.
Even when you have 1 kid.
Yes.
And like when you guys had just 1 kid, you guys were complaining too.
It's really hard.
It was
my
hard.
gosh.
It's
So
really,
like,
really hard.
I did want to bring that up because I read that and I was like, I definitely feel like that when you only have one, people kind of look at you as like, oh, you don't really know what it's like. And it's like, I still am a mom.
No.
There's a phrase
being a mom
that
is hard.
Chase, I like actually may text him and see what it is because I like it and I don't want to butcher it, but it's something about like your hard is only as hard as your hard. Now it sounds like I'm talking about like a penis
Your
joke,
dick is
but
only as hard as your
let
dick.
me text him, but it's basically like, what's the quote about things being hard? It's basically like you, like, I just need him
like
to
you don't know what you don't know kind of thing.
Yeah. So like you're the things that are hard for you right now aren't any less hard because you have one kid. Like the hardest thing that you've ever done is the hardest thing that you've ever done. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it is.
But it's not. It's not a like.
Yeah.
It's
but
not.
it just like feels like that sometimes. It feels like, and again, it's not like specific things. It's societal too.
Right.
Like that it's like, oh, mothers of multiples, you get this. But it's just like you just feel kind of like X'd out of the mom club.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Which kind of sucks. But and it might just be because I think there's an innate guilt when you have one kid because society tells you like, well, you should have more kids for that kid.
That's what the listener something
and
like that.
And sometimes you can't. I mean, sometimes you can't. A lot of people can't. And sometimes you just don't want to because it's really traumatizing to do it once.
Right.
You know, I know plenty of people that are like, I never want to do that again.
Yeah.
And I'm like, heard.
Yeah.
So, you know, but it does feel kind of like you're like in the mom club, but you're also not, you don't get to complain because your life is, you know, it couldn't possibly be as hard.
Yeah.
That's how it feels sometimes.
I could see
so
feeling
I could
that
tell,
way.
like, I could tell
And
what she was talking about.
I don't really know why people act like that anyway. Like why?
I don't
like,
either. It's
because
not a
it's like,
competition.
I mean, six months ago, you
Right.
know, like this, you had one,
Right.
and you thought, and it was the hardest thing that you had been through. So I think it's just crazy how quickly people lose perspective.
Yeah.
So
No, that's such a
I
good
don't
point.
get
Like
it.
the moms, especially that are like, oh, you should.
Yeah, just try having a teenager or
Right.
try having 3 or
It's like,
whatever.
hey,
it's like,
whoa.
but
You at one point,
You
just
at one point were
had
me.
one too, or
Yeah.
just had two
people
too.
have
Like,
it's such a difficulty to see other people's point of view, even if you've lived that pretty comparable point
Yeah.
of view. And it's like, how do we get so far?
I know.
Oh, and it starts like
removed.
the just wait and you don't even know starts when you're pregnant.
oh yeah,
Like I remember being really excited
hate
when I was
that.
pregnant and like especially towards the end of my second trimester kind of feeling myself because I was like I have this major bump but I'm like still cute.
Yeah.
And like you know that phase in
Yeah.
pregnancy where you're like I look good but I'm like very
Yeah,
pregnant.
yeah.
And then you get into the third and you're just a monster.
right.
And I remember like posting something and this one girl like DM'd me and she's like, you think you're big and bumping, but you have no idea how big you're going to get. And I was just like, cool,
Why? Like,
cool.
what
This is as big as I've been.
Right.
Why are you trying to make me feel bad?
Yeah.
And it started then. And then at the end, you know, I would get DMs from moms that are like, just wait till you go through birth.
Yeah.
Just wait till the 4th trimester. Just wait till you never sleep again. And I'm like, I get that misery wants company.
Yeah.
But like, that doesn't help me to make me feel like impending doom.
right.
I RSVP'd no to that.
Yeah.
So take me
thank
off the
you.
list.
Yeah.
It's always.
But I
that
feel
way,
like
though.
it starts so early with mothers, the just the competition and it doesn't end. You know,
Yeah.
if you have 2 kids, people are like, oh, well, you don't have 3.
Yeah.
And it's like, what do I have to do?
Yeah.
I know, but it's like whenever
To be
but it's
a
like
bit,
when we
to
had
be
the
a
same
mom
amount,
enough.
or
What do I
like
have to do to be mom
Right.
enough?
yeah. It's like whenever I had 1, you said, well, I have 2, and then now you have 3 and I have 2,
Yeah.
and you still think that it's just, I think that's just a lesson for everyone who's listening is like, just, can you not be that person? Let's just
Yeah.
like make a pact with each other.
Yeah.
And also, just because you have more fucking kids does not make you better than anyone. There's lots of stupid
No.
people walking around on this planet. You know,
so
lots.
true.
That's so
If you want to have
true,
one
Amy.
kid, great.
A lot of shitty people walking
If you want to
around.
have 10 kids,
You might
great.
want to take a little more time with the ones you have.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the quote isn't ringing a bell.
Anyway, that's my spiel.
Well, I mean, yeah, I totally feel
Yeah.
yeah.
And I just feel like, especially on Instagram, there's just so much of you just will never know until blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I get it. I won't know. I don't know.
But like, it's not
But,
like it's
you
not a
don't-
competition.
Yeah. Like you don't win.
You don't know how
you're having
how
a more
annoying
miserable
you are.
time than
so
me.
like
This is less philosophical than I thought. And I think I said this, but the hardest thing you've ever done is the hardest thing you've ever done.
Yeah.
so you weren't that far off.
No, you weren't
Yeah.
I actually said it 4 different ways.
Yeah,
but
sure.
But no, like that's true. The hardest thing you've ever done is the hardest thing you've ever done.
Well, and this actually relates. It's so real, and it is true because I kind of say something similar about my little brother who is a nightmare.
Yeah.
He has the deepest voice I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
His voice is shockingly deep.
Yeah. Well, my dad's a bass singer. Yes, my mom's an alto.
I looked at him and I was like, hey, nice to meet you. He was like, nice to meet you.
Oh my gosh.
Even Nick was like, "What the?"
Yeah, his voice is like a crazy
It
low.
is crazy.
Okay, go on.
But I like struggle with like witnessing him going through life, like in the way that he chooses to. And I'm like, okay, this is the oldest he's ever been. He thinks he's the smartest person on earth. He thinks he knows so much and that he's so old.
Wait,
and
how old is he? 19?
He's 19.
20? So we all kind of did.
Yeah. It's like, okay, well, this is the furthest in his life he's ever been, which is it sounds silly, but it's true. It's like, okay, well, he doesn't have the perspective that I have to look back at 19 and truly have a bigger picture.
Yeah, and realize that you don't know shit.
Yeah, and it's the same.
Not
It's kind of
even
the
close to
same
knowing
thing. And in general, I just think it's good practice to kind of keep that in mind in every phase of life you're in.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I have to sometimes check myself when I think there are people in my life and my family that have like kind of victimized themselves to the point where now I am so much on the opposite end of the spectrum where anything can happen to me and I'm like, it's okay. It's all good. It's all good. Like it's all, I'm not on the Gaza Strip.
Yeah.
Like I have a roof. And so I feel like there's somewhere that I can meet people halfway too, because I kind of like am so far on the other end of the spectrum when it comes to all that shit where I'm just like, I don't know. It just annoys me when people act like they have it harder than anyone ever did.
Oh,
and
God,
it's like
so many people do that though.
It's so fucking annoying. Like,
and it's like, okay, so you're having the hardest time you've ever had,
Right.
and I'm here for you.
Yeah.
Right. That doesn't take
so
away
don't
my
take away
heart.
from when I'm having a hard time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really something that I'm sure it was a thing in our lives before having kids, but it is really in mom culture. The one-upping
judgment and the one-upping.
Yeah, it's very, very prevalent
Well,
in mom
we can't
culture.
even post anything without even a joke. All the things that I
Yeah.
personally post are jokes. You do more of the serious, like mom posts. I just like to fuck around. And so when I post, I'm always joking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there a little bit of truth to everything I say? Of course there is.
Yeah.
But I'm always trying to get a laugh.
Yeah.
So for you to come at me so hard about certain things, I'm like, get a life.
Yeah. Oh.
And it's so much judgment. Ooh, she's talking about drinking and her kids in the car. Fuck off.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
I like wine. Go fuck yourself.
there's always gonna be
I'm not
people-
shooting up. I'm having a glass of wine when I get home because my kid had a nervous breakdown the whole day. Fuck off.
People take it from point A to point B though. It's
Like,
literally
people
like
take it to from A to Z.
they like
people are
say
like,
that you talked about wine and next thing you know,
He's
like
a
you're a
raging
full blown
alcoholic.
out. Yeah.
And then those comments, because Farrah was like, no, mommy, no, I don't like it. And
Oh, yeah,
people
they were like, sounds like
"That-
she's
She's being
abused."
abused. I'm like,
Yeah.
she didn't get a milkshake that she wanted.
there was one comment that was like, I study children's like
Yeah, and I know the tone in that voice.
vocabulary. Yeah, or like how they say
Yeah.
things. And I know that voice is crying for help because
Yeah,
of abuse.
clearly.
Like,
Yeah, have you met
That's
my
so funny.
spoiled
I was just about to say
diva?
that I know you're annoying based on your comment. That's so crazy.
Like, have
I
you
can
met my
read-
spoiled diva of a daughter?
Right. But
Nobody's
also-
ever done
it's
anything
actually
to
so
her.
weird. What a
I can actually
coincidence.
read words and what their emotions are, and this is screaming annoying and
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So like,
And like the one woman that called Eli an animal.
yeah. Yeah.
And like, just
excuse me?
Yeah, she's like, he's a little animal.
Yeah. Like, oh,
Excuse you?
oh.
Oh, and then on the other day when we were on the news, someone was like, well, you guys talking about it so much that it's so hard. Why don't you give your mothers a little grace and stop talking shit about your mothers?
Who said this?
I was like, we're both really close with our mothers.
I missed
All
this.
3 of us are close with our mothers. We don't.
People are delusional.
Was this a comment
On
or
my page, it was like, you guys got to. And then what was the other one? The one that
the one that you
the one that went
posted?
viral recently. There were just so many women that are
oh
like,
the peen?
oh, the dick. They're like, oh, and then there's so many women that are like, oh, that's so sad for you. I love dick, and like I love
Yeah.
dick.
Then there's
That's
no
how, like,
Literally,
really
something must be wrong with you.
There's no ability to grasp any perspective or opinion
Yeah.
outside of
Also,
their
we're
own.
fucking joking. We all have sex with our husbands,
Well-
even though we don't want to.
Oh, and then-
we all do
Well,
it.
no, and
it's
then-
like,
some of these women that were like, how sad, this is why husbands cheat, or like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, something must be wrong with you. There were a few of them that I was like, fucking A. Like,
No, and
I
then
remember
there were
commenting back.
men.
Well, so some of them I commented and said, just because I said I don't want it doesn't mean I'm not having it.
Yeah.
And then it was
they-
the whole like, oh my God, this is like a torch, like, this
Yes.
is without consent, or
Oh
like
my
you need.
God.
I'm like,
You can
oh
never go on about
my
consent.
God. I'm like, no, like,
because in today's culture, you can't joke about anything.
you can't joke about anything.
Anything. Everybody takes everything literally, and everybody is dying for a reason to fucking judge.
Like literally, I said I don't want any penis while I'm breastfeeding, and then some people were like, "You mean the whole time? You don't have sex the whole?"
No,
What
and
if-
then
what
one
if you
person-
breastfeed for 2 years? You just don't have. I'm like,
one person
Jesus
was like, she
Christ.
one person was like, she just means literally while she's breastfeeding. I said, who the fuck is fucking
No,
while they're breastfeeding? Because that's
multiple
some
people.
sick shit.
Not me.
Multiple people said that. They're
That's
like, "Oh no, she
sick.
just must mean while she's in the act of breastfeeding." I'm like,
No,
oh,
I
no,
mean,
that's
like,
assumed,
while we
babe.
have a breastfeeding relationship that is active.
And then one woman, this was my favorite one ever. She goes, there is nothing more, there is no more erotic time than when I'm breastfeeding. And then a girl underneath her said, ew.
ew,
And I was like, ew, double ew.
ew, ew, ew. Yeah,
Why
that
are you
one
talking
was-
about getting turned on?
that
Like,
one? Every single
That-
word was taken so literally in that whole thing. It was
and I'm just like, thank you for the fucking engagement.
Oh, yeah,
But
yeah,
you people
yeah.
need lives.
yeah.
That was pretty wild.
That was a wild
but
one.
people, moms, and I don't expect much from men because they're men.
Right.
So it's like when men are commenting,
Don't listen,
these
Rudy.
douchey things. I'm like, "Pfft, of course you would. You're a man. But when it's women and it's
It's
mothers,
weird from what
I
from
get
mothers.
really offended because I'm like, you understand how hard this is.
Yeah.
How dare you judge me?
It's the moms, because sometimes a comment's so vile that I'll even click on their account and I'm like, oh, like she has her profile picture is her and a cat.
Yeah,
Like
and it's
she's
like
not
she's
a
a
mom.
cat mom,
Right.
yeah.
Like she's not actually a mom. So those I'm like, I can't. But when it's like plain and
mom.
clear that it's a mom, I'm like, this
Yeah.
is so sad.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I think that people are like, I think people are bored.
Yeah.
I think people are angry and sad.
Yeah, I think
it's a
that's more-
really
Or
sad
they've
world
had
that's
right
more
now.
what it is.
Some uncommon mixture of circumstances in their life that have allowed them to really build up this opinion that
Yeah.
like it really is like that simple and straightforward and like
Yeah.
easy.
Do you,
Yeah.
do you know how much anxiety I would have if I ever commented something like nasty on something?
Oh my
like,
God, I know.
Like I have at one point, I told you guys this a while back. I was on like that pregnant Facebook, or I was on a Facebook group at one point during
Yeah.
COVID, and I commented something shitty, but I still think it's funny. There was this girl that like videotaped this other woman in the locker room, a women's locker room. And she videotaped her and posted it, and it was really offensive and awful because the woman clearly did not know and didn't want to be
Ew,
posted.
yeah.
And she was like making fun of her body. And the
Oh.
woman that did it had like these really bad fake tits that were like pointing like in different directions. And so of course I took it upon myself to be like, if you have a fucking terrible tit job, you probably shouldn't be making fun of other people's bodies.
Yeah.
I don't know which one to look at.
And 100,000 women came at me. Literally.
Oh my God.
They were like, you're part of the problem. Fuck you. You're being judgmental. How dare you shame a woman for getting fake? I'm like, everyone I know has fake tits. Like, I'm not fucking shaming fake tits. I'm saying if you have two alien tits,
don't make
fun of other people's bodies.
At least let me know which one to look at whenever I'm dissing you.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Which nipple am I making eye contact
And
with here?
I got reamed so hard that it like traumatized me, and then they blocked me from the group
I have not heard this story.
because they were so offended by me, and I was like, I thought that I was being super funny.
You're
Yeah, I
like, got
would've
it.
loved
Okay,
that
so I'm
comment.
looking up in the US how many boob jobs have been done, and then I have 100,000 that are mad about me dissing one. So this is how many go wrong.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
So like all of you have
You're just
really bad
building
fake
your
tits.
own data.
Right.
Yeah.
That's so true.
It was so intense. And like there have been
Wow.
other times where I've just said one thing like that I thought was funny and I've been attacked. So I'm like, I don't know how these people sleep at night saying the shit they say to us.
Yeah. I think it
And
helps them sleep
knowing
at night. I think it helps
they
them sleep
like
at night.
it.
Yeah.
Shoo, me.
It's so fucking weird. Like they get off on it because
Yeah.
they're just incels.
Anyways, this topic comes up so often. I feel like because it happens so often to
Every
us.
time we post, people
I know.
fuck with us.
I
And I
know.
guess that means that we're getting successful. But like, it still really baffles me that people care enough to like be so mean.
Yeah. It'll never
get
cease
used
to
to
amaze
it, I
me.
guess.
Yeah.
It's hard to be so famous,
season
guys.
So
3.
hard to be
It's
so
season 3. You
famous.
better
So
get used to
successful,
it.
honey.
We got new drapes and everything because we're so successful.
Yeah.
Well, shall we
What else are we talking
ask
about?
a question?
Oh yeah, what's the question?
Well, our question was going to be how potty training is going.
potty training. Yeah, it's not, and hers is.
So,
Oh yeah, I guess we did answer that. So
What else?
what else do you want to know?
What do you want to know?
Let's see what else I can find here.
What do you want to know?
Okay, I get. Sorry, this is just one that I'm sticking with. The guilt surrounding childcare for moms working full time.
yeah.
So, do y'all struggle with that? I do.
Yeah, because you don't know if your kid's actually being taken care of.
Yeah.
You hope. You really hope.
Yeah.
You hope that they're being cared for, and you hope that nobody's being mean, and you hope that they're being attentive, and you don't know.
Yeah.
Because you can get little pictures, but you can't. I mean, I guess some places have cameras you can watch the whole time.
Yeah.
But that's like
Hearts
it's
does,
probably so expensive.
No, they just send pics.
My friend Taylor, their place, you can like tune into any room and watch, which is great. But like,
Yeah.
I think it's also like $1 million a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you just never know. And that's why you have to talk to your kid. I mean, every
Yeah.
day I'm like, how was school?
Yeah.
What did you do? What teachers do you like? Who do you not like?
Right.
You know?
For me, it's more of like feelings of two things: missing out on things, which is probably silly sounding, but like I don't want to miss big moments, especially, but even like small moments
Yeah.
with E, because he's the only one in childcare now. But and the other one is I don't want him to not think that this isn't like the best way to phrase this, but think that I'm like choosing him, or maybe think that I'm choosing like work over him.
Yeah.
Because there have been some times where, because Chase and I both work from home, and he is only in school 2 days a week. So, 3 days a week, he's seeing what it is like for me to work. And there have been so many times where he's like, Mommy, you're not working, which like means that he notices that he notices when I am working, when I'm not present. And every time he does that, it just like crushes me.
Yeah.
And I know like that's a personal problem. I know that there are so many
But
moms.
it's so healthy for him to see that you work.
No, it totally is. And like the
And, like,
business that I've
respect
created
you.
is like
Yeah.
crazy. Like, and I hope that he admires that one day for sure. But, and like my work ethic and all of that. But it does sting a little when he like, the times that he like notices like, oh, you're not working right now. Or, on the flip side, he'll say like, Mom, you have to go work.
Yeah.
That like, kills me. Cause
She gets really upset
it's
too.
just like, I don't want him to think that I'm ever like, like that's more
Choosing-
important.
yeah.
Like you prefer it.
Yeah, that's like more of it's for me. It's not so much a concern of like what's happening there. I do care about that,
Yeah.
because obviously I want him to like be safe and happy and cared for and all of that. But for me, it's more of like I want him to know that like I'm doing it for him and like those types of things.
And it's heavy. Like I know that this is crazy, But when I pick her up from school, I think to myself, we've dodged another day where a person with a gun hasn't come to school. Like, I think to myself, I'm going to pick her up, and then I pick her up, and I'm like, we live another day.
Yeah.
Like, where you don't have to, where she's not going to die. Because I think about gun violence all the time. That part is like paralyzing for me. But I literally have to work. Like, our house is very expensive for us. We need both of us working. So it's like, and I need it for me. I mean, I need her to go to school so that I don't fucking lose my mind.
Yeah.
But the gun stuff is that part is, I don't know that I'll ever get over it. And if it keeps getting worse and worse, I don't know that I can like live here in this country. I know that like that's, I can't live in this country. People threaten that. If this keeps getting worse, I don't know how we can live here and send our kids to school. Because it's so terrifying.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, I think I struggle definitely just with missing time too. But I think I have less of that now. So I think I'm just fortunate gotten to a place with a little bit of flexibility, and so that definitely helps. But I think recently I've been like really obsessed with our budget just because it's like really fun and focusing a lot on that and learning about it. And now
Sounds
I'm like, do I need to like run the numbers to see if like this even makes sense for like me to not be a stay-at-home mom? And Bill's like, no, you gotta work. So I'm like, I'm having that guilt where I'm like, does this even make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Because I mean, think about how many parents are that like basically their salary is paying for childcare.
Yeah, exactly. Whenever you could just, but then after taxes, it's like you're not even really like it's not.
You're paying for your sanity,
but you're also paying for your sanity.
No, you're paying
exactly.
for your sanity.
You are. No, you are.
Because
for sure.
I did 2 years of stay-at-home momming, and I
don't
would
think
not do that again.
Well, I really like. Yeah,
I wouldn't do it again.
I like going into my job and stuff, but it
is
it's the missing out. It's the missing out. But I think you kind of have to weigh pros and cons for your family and I see the benefit of him going and like building relationships and things like that.
It's really good for them.
Yeah.
Well, and a lot of like, I'm a better mom. I don't really know if any mom could disagree with this, but I'm a better mom.
Yeah.
When I have had that space. Like,
and then I have a PTO day.
Yeah.
And I'm still getting my paycheck, but my kid still goes to daycare and I get a little day alone.
Yeah. Mama needs
Hello?
that.
Oh, like when I pick her up from school, I'm genuinely so excited to see her.
So it's the best
And
part
like
of this.
and she is so excited to
fun.
see me, and we hug and kiss, and then we walk to the car and talk, and
That's
we
literally the
have our
best.
little routine, and it's like I just love it so much.
The best.
And then we go back and we do something before dinner, and and it's just like kind of it's special.
Yeah.
Whereas when you have every day, all day with them, it's a lot less becomes special for me.
Yeah. No, same. Same.
It really became like where by the end of the day, Nick got home from work and I was like, take her.
Bye. Yeah.
I'm gone. I'm going to drive to the fucking parking lot to cry.
Yeah.
Because I just was like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
So I think it's healthy. I mean, and it's up to you. Some people don't believe in sending their kids to school, and that's okay.
Well, so I know I'll never forget my mom saying this. My mom still worked. She worked part-time. She's a physical therapist. She worked part-time when Kyle and I were young. And so we went back pretty early. And she said, since I've become a mom, she said, I knew I would be a better mom if I worked part-time.
Yeah.
She said, I needed to be part-time.
Oh, yeah. Nick's
And I'm
mom
like,
says that all
heard,
the time. She's
like-
like, I had to work.
Yeah. I mean, I get it.
I feel that way too.
Yep. I'm
get
a
it.
happier person. I'm a better mom. I'm a better wife.
Yeah.
I'm healthier.
Yeah.
Like it is all the things.
Jinx, you owe me a soda.
Aw. All right.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Macy, you need to go feed.
Yeah, well,
Wyatt.
you
Yes,
gotta go.
I need to go feed my little
breastfeed,
baby.
and I gotta go watch True Detective.
Love it.
Yeah. So Amy's stuff is more important.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
very important what I have to do.
Let's
No,
get
it
Amy
is.
back.
Yeah,
All
Jodie
right.
Foster. Gotta watch her banging everyone on True Detective.
Oh, wow.
Cheers to that.
She's getting
to
after
that.
it. Love y'all.
Love y'all.
See you next time.
Rock, rock, rock me, mama.